ROV is a remotely operated vehicle, and I have several pictures to give you guys different ideas of kind of what they look like. They can be very large or pretty small, and they can range in price from a few $1,000s to millions of dollars. They've been used since about the 1960s. They're typically tethered or connected to a ship and operated by a person who's either on the ship or on land. So the nice thing about them is you don't have to send a person down with them so that they can stay underwater indefinitely. They can go to depths without, the concern of somebody getting the bends or somebody getting hurt. Oftentimes they have manipulator arms on them for cutting and sampling and things like that. So like I said, there are a whole variety of them depending on what you need them for. So that's an example more or less of what we're going for, but we get to come up with our own original design, so ours probably won't look necessarily like this one, but this is an example of one that was built from one of these kits. So today what we really need to start doing is looking what we have here and coming up with drawings and designs and ideas. So why don't you guys just get a piece of paper and start working either on your own or in teams to think about what you want to do with this stuff. Supposed to explore the bottom of the swimming pool. So we can kind of decide if we wanted to be able to collect samples, if we wanted, like I was saying, how different ROVs do different things.
Could we have it sample something at the bottom of it? Pick up
Sediment samples, they put video cameras on them to study marine life. They could sample things by dragging something behind, like a dredge. That would be an easy way to sample.
Like rotational inertia, like the longer that we make our design, the more energy it'll take to turn the vehicle. We could just make it a really small cube.
Make it like shorter, so you have like a big enough square and it doesn't have to be that tall.
If that's your raft and that was forward, it doesn't rotate like that. Try to put the center of mass at like the lowest point in the water. So if we have the,
it would be like a ball.
Yeah, it would be like putting like a ball into the water. We just turn whichever way you want. If you have something sticking up and you have those floaty things, then like if it rotates, then the buoyant force on the floaty things would be greater because they have less density than we have these. So it would rotate back to how it's supposed to be.
The weight isn't actually distributed over any length. It's all in one area, which means that leverage. The way that they're designed, they're going to allow for more rotation this way than they are this way, because this is like.
I guess.
Because all of their support is oriented this way.
It's
not going to shift this at all.
But why do we have to change this?
Oh, because
Floaters. You just did this design step when you moved that cross piece back there. Between this and that is how we're going to provide upward motion. On this one, they have one motor pointed upward that would provide direct upward thrust. On this one, we would have a motor like that, and motors there.
Yeah,
there.
I understand.
So instead of providing direct upward thrust, which this one would a little bit, but it would also rotate it like that so that it could provide upward thrust that way as well. The point is that it's going to be a little bit heavier than bit more dense in the water so that
it'll sink.
So it'll sink.
So it'll hit the ground.
If we don't provide upward thrust,
But if you always provide, if the thrust was only coming from there, it would always keep.
Yeah, it would always stay up.
You wouldn't be able to take pictures.
To go up, you would rotate like.
How's it going to sink with noodles on it?
We ballast it.
The buoyancy of the craft had to be about equal to the weight of the water, so that with minimal upward thrust, the craft could move up and down how it wanted. The motor placement helped with that because we had one motor on the top, which provided upward thrust, and then two motors on the sides, which were the thrusters that made the craft go forward and turn.
The one in the book. Raise your hand. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, there are 11 people here.
Honestly, guys, though, if you're soldering things, I think you should wear goggles.
Okay, I've soldered like quite a bit, and I've only burned other people while I was doing it.
Okay, we're gonna need.
What measurements you need?
Design.
Yeah, I'm cutting my own.
Okay, what do you think Kind of sort of with that like.
You can just measure them again.
Okay.
They're really hard to
No, but that's actually not that big. Wait.
No, that's groups, not two sets.
No, now what?
No, we need.
It's not plain or.
You're really. It fits pretty much.
I haven't even looked at it myself.
Is it like
I decided to make it my girlfriend.
That's fine. Now we need to pick.
The engines are the most important part of this robot.
Motors.
That's pretty true. Can we keep that?
Okay, so these motors are pretty much the most important part of the
They're engines.
RFB. And what we're looking at here is that we're trying to protect these motors so that they function most efficiently underwater. So we're coating them now so that nothing gets in there and just messes up the...
This is essentially like the preliminary coating. On top of this, we're going to have the wax, and then we insert it into these plastic tubes. Essentially, as I just said previously, a triple insulation from the water.
I'm deciding which one is the brown wire.
Alright guys.
Got no idea. Well, I have to put this in language, but it's like a TV. It's like an engine.
You want to do current?
Oh.
But the motor's just going to
Okay.
in a different direction.
That's fair enough. How is that the wrong way?
It's the right way.
Okay, now.
Fire or something. Anybody else want to use goggle?
Motor colors. STB, this helps me not know. Port is blue. Oh, starboard port, like on a boat. Oh.
Wait, starboard's left, right?
That was right.
Yeah, port's left.
Yes.
I just figured something out.
Is there any way to
on the bottom here.